107.
Since Aaron yesterday set up an eagle. A shot of a lifetime.
Episode 11 of the Dial In podcast. Welcome.
Thanks, Wardy. How you doing?
I'm good. Just another week in beautiful Melbourne.
Yes.
Not for all of us, but
This weekend was a good weekend. The weather in New Zealand played ball.
Okay, fantastic. I saw some of the stories you chucked up on Instagram. Looked incredible, especially by comparison.
Yeah, even managed to get sunburnt, which is like middle of winter in New Zealand. And it's not because my pasty Irish skin. It was actually like 22, 23 degrees some of the days.
Unbelievable.
So no complaints.
Very
Personal
good.
golf was at an all-time high this weekend.
Perfect. Well, that's a good place to start.
Yep.
Let's do it. So, you went to Ed's End for the week. Tell us, start to finish, fill in the listeners.
Yeah, so played Arai on Thursday, played the North course. Weather was decent, bit of wind, nothing crazy. Shot my lowest round ever.
Hey, congrats.
82. By some of our listeners' standards, probably still relatively shit. Still, for me, I was very happy with that. So it set the tone for a good weekend, I shall say.
Yeah.
Played Titirangi on Friday. Great layout. Awesome course. Much preferred it over Royal Auckland when I played there. The only Mackenzie course in New Zealand, and it's always nice to tick off a Mackenzie course. There is one sitting proudly at the top of that list that I would love to tick off someday. Highly unlikely. What it lacks is, it probably just lacks like the capital to have it at like a pristine level.
Or is it just because you've visited in winter?
No, like there's just certain parts of the course where it's just hasn't been maintained as well as it could be, as if there was a course with a lot of capital flowing into it.
Yep.
They have undertaken some drainage, and you could see that around there where they've laid the pipes and whatnot. But in terms of like some of the holes, even on the back nine, there's just some like really magical looking holes that are nice to play, that I think if you got it in the middle of summer where it's fully dried out, it'd be awesome. So anyone going to NZ, I'd recommend that for like a really close course around Auckland. And it was $130 as a green fee, which is pretty good going at this stage. And then we debated whether we would play Friday afternoon or not, and then after we'd played Friday morning, we said to hell with it. So we jumped in the car and we got to Arai as quickly as we could, and we played the South course, and we had the place to ourselves. We teed off at 3:20, and we managed to get 14 holes in before light got the better of us, but it was a great start. It was just like nice to have, evening sun, the shadows coming across the course. It was awesome.
And talk us through the weekend. So you stayed, played.
We stayed on
well.
site, and that was just ease of access.
Ate there as well?
We ate there as well.
Yeah.
It was a full golf immersed weekend.
Nice.
We were teeing off on Saturday and Sunday at 8:30 a.m.
Yeah.
So we wanted to be able to just get up, hit some balls, have a quick breakfast, and get out. Which we wore. So we played 2 rounds on the Friday. We played 36 on the Saturday. North in the morning, south in the afternoon, and then we played 18 again on Sunday.
Did you reverse it on? So did like one course? You didn't do straight up like. You said you played both tees on each course.
Yes.
So you did alternate courses.
So I did white on Thursday.
And
then did white south on Friday afternoon. We did blacks.
And blacks on the weekend for both.
Yeah, we did blacks on Saturday morning on the north. We did whites Saturday afternoon when we played south, but then we did blacks on the south Sunday morning.
Perfect.
Obviously you get different aspects of the course when you go back in the tee boxes, but on the south especially, it totally gives you a different perspective of the course. South is ranked higher than north, but the person that I was with, who is a traditionalist from a golf sense, very much preferred the north than the south. And we broke it down then in our chats, is that the south gives you a lot more of your opening holes along the water, And you know, the vista is unbelievable. Like anybody who's been there will know, but you know, somebody who isn't there, I probably can't do it enough justice in describing it. Even photos don't do it enough justice.
So you just got to get there.
You just got to get there and experience it. And look, my view is that you will never play more relaxed golf than when you're there, because they alternate with a guest course and a member course. But it's limited in terms that like there's only 300 or 400 members, and you're probably not getting that many of them coming through at the weekends, because a lot of them are international. So you're out there and you feel like you have the entire place to yourself. Like we teed off at 8:30 a.m. on Sunday, which wouldn't be late by Melbourne standards for playing golf. And I reckon we got around in 3 hours 10, and the next group was at least 6 holes behind us.
Yeah, wow.
But what they were saying was afterwards, they keep a live timesheet. And between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. it can change dramatically, where it can be empty and then it can just fill up, because the locals are waiting on the weather, and if the weather's really good then they just get on and book. So we were benefactors of getting out early and being that way inclined, but 8:30 in the morning for us was like perfect timing.
Yeah, great.
So yeah, overall, unbelievable.
I think
weekend.
staying on site makes a big difference too, right? When you finish, you just don't have to rush back out. And
Yeah, like even Saturday when we did double rounds, like we went back out, and I think they definitely were like, these guys are golf sickos.
Yeah.
We had a quick lunch, we went straight back out, and then when we came back in, the clubhouse at the moment, because with Rick's burning down, unfortunately, is where the fine dining used to be. So it's called Rick's in the Ocean, but you finish. The 18th is on. Like the clubhouse is on the 18th.
Yeah.
So we literally just saddled on in, and we were like, let's just have dinner here. And they had the rugby on, so we sat back, had a drink, had dinner, watched the rugby. I think we were asleep in bed now by 9:30 each night, but it was awesome, because then you woke up at like kind of 6 a.m.
Refreshed.
You had time in the morning, you weren't trying to drive there or get there. And then you can just walk down to the range, hit some balls and straight out. So yeah, it was awesome from that
side. And as you said,
things.
from an experience point of view, that's what makes it, right?
Oh, 100%. And like I said to Sam, I said, you're like, the experience is next level. So while I'm the member, they were greeting him on first name terms and treated him as like a member because he was with me.
Well, he's a member's guest, right?
I think that goes a long way.
It does.
The best touch they had, and no club has ever done it. So when we were coming down the 18th on the Friday, because we skipped some holes to loop back in, they had floodlights built into one of the sand dunes, and they turned the floodlights on so we could see the approach shots from the fairway to the green.
That's awesome.
And it was awesome because you could actually see where you were aiming. You weren't in the pitch black. And I was like, what a cost effective but unbelievable powerful touch. And then you've got like so they've got course marshals, and they greet everybody on the 18th that's finishing to come off. So that's quite a nice touch as well. But the floodlights, I was like, all right, game changer. That was a great touch.
They must get a few people that are doing like you are, right? Trying to get there for a weekend and squeeze in as many holes as possible. So things like that is amazing.
And like they weren't massive spotlights, but they were just hidden within the dune grass. And then they just flicked them on. It was like, okay, that's pretty cool.
Love that.
Love
that.
So
very jealous from all of us back in Melbourne, but great to hear an unbelievable weekend. As we've sort of said before, it used to be that sort of Tassie was the go-to golf trip, and it's still that way for sure, but it feels like everyone, NZ's the place to be.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just like, okay, it's a 4-hour flight, but I think it's still relatively easy to get there when it's, it's an hour and 15-minute drive from Auckland. And I think that's what's bringing a lot of the Americans in, is that you can get direct flights from LA. It's pretty, they go, okay, we jump in a 12-hour flight and we get some of the best golf in the world. And I think that's where New Zealand is just becoming a hotbed for that type of golf. And I think their courses punch way above their weight. Like when you think about it, like we played 2 top 100 golf courses on repeat all weekend. Like it's pretty good. And then you've got Tauridi, which is on a different level again. That's within the top 10 in the world. So you're going, okay, like power and bang for buck. It's definitely up there.
It's the reason why people come into the Sandbelt, right?
Absolutely.
That concentration of courses in a location.
And we did comment on that. Like we come from a very privileged position, the fact that we play Sandbelt golf every weekend. We were nitpicking at certain things, and then we kind of went, hang on, we got to check ourselves here. Not everybody gets the quality of course and golf that we do in Melbourne. So that's also something that, we've got to appreciate a bit more as well.
Yeah, for sure. Well, not everyone was out playing golf this weekend, so I got to watch a lot of Scottish Open, which is great, and we love having links golf back on TV. So gear-wise, we need to concentrate on Tom Kim and what he did.
Yeah, look, it was good to see Tom Kim win. I think he's being close. I think the media is starting to breathe down his neck a bit whether the hype was actually justified in his earlier years, and
he's still so young.
Hopefully it unlocks him a bit now when he goes on and kind of achieves some of the things that he can, because obviously he's good mates with Scotty Scheffler, and Scotty Scheffler's always saying like Tom's ability is second to none, which I think anybody on tour's ability is probably. But I think if he can just kind of shake the shackles now and go on a bit of a run, and kind of see his true potential, I think that would be good. Yeah,
for sure. He obviously played great start to finish during the week, and we're talking through his gear setup. So GTS in the bag again. It's a popular one.
Yes.
So GTS 3 driver and fairways with Fujikura Atmos shafts. They've been around the block for a while, but obviously trusted by Tom.
Yeah.
And a pretty sort of standard progression through his bag. The only thing that I sort of took note of was he goes from X-Flex in the driver and the fairways and woods into just a stiff flex Project X 6.0 in his irons, which I thought was very interesting. So, whether or not that's because it's a boardier profile of shaft, or...
I was going to say, like, for our listeners, would there be a particular reason as to why he might do that? Because obviously he's not the smallest guy, and he hits it pretty well.
Or just that, he prefers maybe playing off-speed iron shots, right? Maybe that's something he's trying to control a bit more, and without having to go sort of full throttle at everything.
Yeah.
There's not too many Project X 7.0 like Rory plays.
Yes.
Out there. Or he might even have them hard stepped. So again, that's to make them firmer. So maybe they're that way as well, right? It's hard to say just based on a spec sheet that we're seeing on an article online. But yeah, found that interesting, and then through to some folky wedges all the way through. You've got a mix of SM9, SM10s in the bag as well. Maybe he just doesn't want to let them go.
Very loyal to the brand though, clearly.
Yes, and Pro V1X golf ball. So
I think everybody's playing Pro V at this point. It's like a rare anomaly that you see anything else.
I think I saw a stat of 12 out of the last 13 weeks or something.
Yeah, Tommy's obviously playing, he's tailor-made, but other than that, everybody that's won has been playing a Pro V.
Yeah, I mean, they're a golf ball company first and foremost, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. The other one was Return of the Blade. There's not too many left on tour. Tom's one of them though. So he's always been a loyalist to one. He had a GSS prototype in the bag, I think, from looking at the couple of photos and images. And we've spoken about it before on previous episodes. There's not too many left, but he's sticking to it.
He's sticking to it, maybe.
I mean, if it gets you to the PGA Tour, who are we to argue, right?
Oh, 100%.
And obviously winning, and part of me just loves seeing links golf, the purity, the sacredness of links golf and a blade putter, right?
It's the best form of it, right?
It's tradition. Yeah.
Thursday night viewing was unbelievable. The weather over there that they're getting at the moment is insane. Fairways are rock hard. The ball is bouncing. It's running. It's everything that links golf should be.
Yes.
And then Friday, you couldn't even see 2 foot in front of your face because of the fog. But they play till 10:30 at night because you get the long evenings.
Yeah.
And that was what we loved, even being in New Zealand, was we were getting that stretch, and it was like, this is how golf should be played.
Yeah.
So that you can't help but get excited about it. I think there's also something special about just Americans playing golf in that part of the world at that time of year.
Yeah.
It's just...
Look, selfishly, I think we want to see them struggle a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely we do.
Mr. Scheffler missing the cut?
Yeah, well, it was a bit bittersweet in that, because he had such a good run going.
Was impressive. Yeah.
But seeing him, maybe saying see him struggle is wrong, but you want to see them play it like we do most of the time. I think Rory topped one off the tee box, or he fatted a wedge on a par 3. Okay, it still was on the edge of the green, but okay, they do the similar things that we might do, just more regularly and around.
Yes.
But then also hitting blind shots into fog that you've nowhere to go, or nowhere you can't see where it's going, and it lands 5 foot from the pin. Yeah. These guys are different level.
Yeah. It's realistic but then unrealistic, right?
Yeah, totally. Well, it's like how you see them get out of the long grass, and you hear the commentators, they're just going to have to muscle one up here. Whereas when we play that shot, the head's probably turning over, the ball's probably spitting 5 or 10 foot out of the long grass. They're still landing it on the green, and you're going, okay.
Or I think the other thing that most golfers don't appreciate is if they can't, right, they're hitting it into a smart spot. Right, I think too many amateur golfers will try and hit that shot with a 6-iron out of the wispy long rough. That, like you said, the head twists in the grass, it goes a mile left, and all of a sudden they're dead and buried from 30 meters away.
When you say dead and buried, one of the things that was funny, the guy that I went to New Zealand with, we were commenting on it because we literally had a binge of golf for the weekend. We were like, if that was us, you'd be just in a dog shit situation in the long grass. But also, they find the ball every time because there's literally 100 minions finding the ball. So I was like, I wonder what the score would be if they were just out traipsing and you had a minute and a half to find your golf ball.
Yeah.
It would still be much better, but the ball wouldn't be found. Exactly right.
Yeah.
So I was like, actually, that's a fair fact that, us average Joes that go out there, we're not finding some of the balls that they're finding to even get to play another shot.
Correct. But yeah, like those guys, right, they're hitting up to the front of the green and then giving themselves a chance to make par, and they're good enough to do that, right? Whereas I think amateur golfers, we don't play the percentages of the 7 out of 10 all the time. It's like, I hit this 7-iron once this far if it gets a jumper or out of a bad lie, and like you said, it twists over and goes left. And then
that's it. Like,
make a big number.
Par is a bad score for them. Bogey is an exceptionally bad, but you never, yes, you do see doubles, because I'm not going to say you never, but it's very, very, very rare. And that's the big difference. Like, I think Miles Russell did an interview a couple of weeks ago, and they were like, what's the biggest thing you take away? And he was like, they're just so boring. He was like, you feel like you're going around and you're matching them shot for shot, but then you get to the end and they go, you're signing for a 63 or a 64. And you just realize afterwards, it's just like they've grinded consistently through the round.
Yeah.
That's the big difference. Like, we hail or, Hail Mary 3-wood on a par 5 that gets onto the green or is on the front edge. They're not doing that.
No.
They're really consistent with driver. They're hitting a mid-iron in, and it's just
it's
a
the wedge
game.
shot that they hit to 20 feet instead of missing the green that makes the difference, not the 3-wood from 250 out. Yeah. But
hence why they're on the PGA Tour.
Exactly, and we're talking about
why we love watching.
Yes, yeah. Good to see Tom Kim get the W. Like I said, going through his bag, pretty stock standard. But we want to look ahead to the week that is coming. The Open Championship. Do not call it the British Open, as I know you wouldn't do that to me, MK. But the interesting gear stories that we'll see sort of come out, and we've already seen a few of them so far, is driving irons.
Yeah,
right? That's the one that comes
they're
out.
They're just going in the bag.
Yeah, 5 woods, 7 woods out, driving irons in. That's just the way it is with links golf, and love to see it. I saw a couple of ones already in the bag this week from JT. I saw he had a black T250U in the bag with a Ventus red. I saw a couple other ones for other Titleist staffers, Michael Brennan, a few others. And obviously not just Titleist, every other brand as well. So a couple of key things to look for is you can set them up very differently, right? You can go different lofts. Every company has a different loft. A 3-iron is not a 3-iron, right? And then definitely in terms of length as well. So you can either use it as an extension of your 4-iron and make it half-inch longer, or you can go ahead and just, a single one-off build that's closer to maybe a hybrid length or something like that, a bit longer. So steel and graphite shafts, although I think most would go graphite these days because you're using it primarily as a option off the tee, and a lot less spin, lower launch, get the ball in play, and go from there.
Yeah, look, I think it makes sense for the type of golf that they're going to have over the next couple of weeks. I think there was one par 3 I was watching some of the practice round this morning, and it's like 220 or 230 yards par 3. And if you've got a 3-iron or a 2-iron, it makes a lot more sense for them. Yeah. Consistency of strike. I think we've touched on this in previous podcasts. They're just looking for consistency, and they're looking for the ability to make par and get out of there on those. If that's the difficult par 3 that's going to test everybody. Yeah. And I think that's also their ball flight. If the wind gets up, they want to be able to keep it low. They have more chance of doing that and just punching it through the wind. And I think that makes the the biggest difference for those guys.
I think that's something to note going into Birkdale this week is like we've seen so many videos online already of how firm and fast it is, right?
Yeah.
So having enough spin on your iron so that when you're hitting those longer approaches, yes, you can take off the spin, but you need that spin there to start with so that you can, play it into these greens that are rock hard.
But this is going to be really interesting to see if they're playing it into the greens or if they're running it up, because like it's been consistently high 20s, early 30s for the better part of the last kind of month and a half, 2 months. I don't think that's going to change over the weekend.
No.
So I would be amazed if we don't see more of them even taking some of those irons off the tee box as
approach.
well.
I love it. Yeah.
Like I even see, Rory will play driver on certain holes where it's right out there.
Yeah.
But for him, it might make sense to hit iron as well, because it's going to just run. Like it's going to be like hitting a car park.
I saw something, I think it was, I can't remember who it was actually, but they were saying that hitting a driving iron 330 yards. Right?
Yeah,
it was
insane.
Mag McNeely actually, that's who it was. So yeah, you don't expect that.
Who's not even the biggest driver on tour.
No.
So you look at it from that side of things, and it's like, for those guys, being too close is a disadvantage.
Looking at your yardage book, you wouldn't think that a 330 yard bunkers in play with a driving iron, right?
Yeah. And then look, deep down for me being the purist that I am, it'd be so good to see Tommy Fleetwood when he's home open. It would just be it'd be unbelievable.
Yeah. I think either way, we're blessed for the venue. Royal Birkdale is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And I think in link golf, having it baked out is just something extra special.
Yeah, it's just brown.
Yeah, I love it.
I was looking at some of the venues that are on the circuit and like what ticks the boxes. You look at all the Royals are obviously there because that's where it's always been played, and then it was like the ones that haven't made the cut and why they're not making it, and there's some up and coming I think that you'll see over the next number of years, and then there's ones that we mightn't see at all because the political side of things.
The open rotation is a hard one to crack, right?
Yeah.
But once you do, it's to be able to go back there and have the history that they do with places like St Andrews is awesome, and Royal Birkdale, Lytham, St Anne's, Turnberry, all those sort of courses that have been and may not still be in there. We'll see how things go. But yeah, very special. And we just don't get enough links golf during the year. So I mean, these 2 weeks, it's great viewing for us in Australia.
Sport at the moment is
much
just
better time
next
zone.
level.
Yeah.
It's like you can run one into the other. Perfect timing for the golf. Then it leads, like you've got soccer. Like literally couldn't be a better weekend of sport.
Football, of course.
Yes,
Yeah. But now that Australia's out of the World Cup, in Australia, we're done. We're over.
It clearly just means we're at the serious end of the tournament.
Okay. All right. So the other thing we sort of wanted to chat about, was the wedges that we're going to see in the bags. We touched on it briefly last week as well for the Scottish Open, but we're going to see some interesting grinds in the bag this week.
Yeah.
Being that it's so baked out and firm, the most common thing you'll see is going for thinner sole widths and grinds with a bit more camber with sort of heel and toe relief in them, just so that the club's not sort of bouncing off that turf too quickly as they're hitting these shots. But I did see some cool shots this coming the week just gone, from guys like Rory, where if you get it in the fescue, it's still a hard shot.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just managing that, and I think that's what they're good at, right? Is just getting the ball and knowing, okay, I have to hit this ball first. How they do that, everyone's different, but you're rolling it up the sides of greens, and it's not just 2 hop stop sort of stuff, right?
Yeah. I think that's the piece that as a viewer at home, you don't really appreciate the skill and the touch that goes into that.
Yeah.
Like even at the weekend, Arai is very much a sand-based course, given that they built it out of the dunes. So like the sharper edge wedges, you can be guilty of getting them a bit stuck in the turf, or actually being too clean and coming through the ball and the ball doesn't go anywhere. And then, as you said, running putts even up the face of greens or chips. A good chip was where it ran on, but it still ran 15, 20 foot maybe past the hole just because of the speed and camber of the green. Whereas these guys are still leaving it, call it 5 to 10 foot.
Yeah.
But to do that, the rest of us would probably run off the green. So I think that's one thing that we don't probably appreciate.
It's a masterclass in course management and skill in being able to execute those shots, right? Variety of lies around the greens.
And look, the benefit of them being able to walk into a tour truck at the start of the week and change their grind on their wedges, because they can. Unfortunately, the rest of us don't have that luxury. And predominantly. I would imagine our listeners are the same.
Yeah, but the other thing is we're playing majority of the same courses week in and
Yes,
week out.
exactly right.
At your home course. So, couldn't be more excited to get some Open Championship under the belt this week.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's a good week. Personally, all right, get your pick on the record, MK. Who are you going with? I know your heart says Tommy, but while you think about it, I'm going Rory.
Do you think?
I saw a press conference after the final round where he said he just needs to get onto a range where it's not a left to right wind.
Yeah.
And he was striking the ball better earlier in the week this week at the Scottish Open. So I think if he has a couple of good range sessions.
I mean, on Sunday, he absolutely blew it away as well.
He just had one bad round on Saturday, which was split up over the fog delay and stuff as well.
Yeah.
So I'm going the Irishman for sure.
As long as it's not like Harmon or someone of those out of the blue, I'll be a happy man. I think Scotty's going to have a point to prove coming back after missing the cut as well. And, that's always a dangerous Scotty. I'm going to go Lowry. I'm just going to say it lines up with him.
Oh,
the Irish guy's got
two opens.
Yeah.
That would be special. That would give him some career.
Yeah.
Right. Elevating from one major to two is huge.
But I think apart from like the Masters and whatnot, the Opens. I think they're far more of an open. Like it's a broader field that come into consideration.
That's the point, right? We're seeing, and we were speaking before about the Open qualifying the playoff where they had 12 guys, 18 holes, a 68 won it from a DP World Tour player who had his fiance on the bag. All right, so he's English. He's got his fiance on the bag. They're getting married next Tuesday after the tournament finishes. Yeah. And obviously England is doing the World Cup. So he could have the greatest or a very average week.
He's still going to have a great week. He's made the Open. Like let's not be too snobby here. He's still going to have a great week. But that's it. I think it could be a bolter that comes along here. Do I think it will be? Probably not, because there's too many of the good guys that are actually in pretty good
Well, especially
form.
on a layout like Royal Birkdale, right? You'd think that the cream would rise to the top on such a challenging test. We haven't got a weird and wonderful golf course that might produce one of those winners. Remains to be seen. We've got a lot of golf ahead of us.
If your view is to come off on Rory's to win, he just needs to play the shots.
Yeah.
I think the worst version of Rory is when he's trying to defend. Whereas when he's actually hunting pins and playing aggressive golf, that's when you see the best of him. Yeah. We see it at the Masters most years. When his back's against the wall and he plays on a Saturday, he streaks ahead.
Well, just some of the shots I saw on like we said, those longer par threes, right? Like it's a 210 yard par three, and he's hitting a 5-iron to 10 foot, and you're like, there's not too many people in the world that can do that.
No, 100%.
So that's where I'm hoping that the better skilled golfers will rise to the top this
Which
week.
I think they will.
Yeah.
I think they will. But I'm very excited. It's going to be a great weekend of viewing, that's for sure.
So we're looking out for driving irons, we're looking out for different grinds in the bags, gear-wise, and we just want a good winner.
Yeah. No complaints.
All right, so our usual dialed in or out of bounds.
Favourite part of the week.
Exactly. So first one, give me driving irons. Let's go dialed in or out of bounds.
I'm dialed in on a driving iron.
Yeah.
Even on my own side, and it's not a driving iron, but where I'd put a hybrid in the bag, I've started to go back to my 4-iron a bit more over the last couple of weeks. Even just off the tee, just on holes where it's like, don't blow it up, just get it in the middle of the fairway and play a smart game on that hole. I've been using the 4-iron, so I'm dialed in on the driving irons.
We might have actually mentioned this last week because with the Scottish Open with the driving irons. So we're just going for longer irons as opposed to hybrids and fairway woods. And I've got one in the bag as well, so I'm dialed in.
Yeah.
Second one I want to talk about is this week we saw some black vapor irons being released by Titleist.
Yeah.
Talk to me about black irons and black wedges, dialed in or out of bounds.
I'm out of bounds on anything that isn't standard color wise.
Really?
Well, you gotta be
That's interesting from a man with an orange putter.
Yeah, okay, fair. Throw me right under the bus. That was a pure feel and coincidence that I picked that putter up.
I know.
For me, my OCD kicks right in here, and then as it would wear, it would drive me mental looking down at two different colors.
This is the reason I'm out of bounds as well, right?
But then I also think if you rock up in the first tee box or you're midway through a round and you've got black irons and you're hitting it like dog shit, you've got playing partners that are
You
asking
think it's
some
another
questions.
it's another level that you
I
have
do,
to get
anyway.
to. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Look, Cam Smith loves them.
Yeah, but it's Cam Smith.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want with your Cam Smith.
Exactly right.
And the finishes have definitely gotten better over the years, so they're longer wearing than they used to be. But I'm with you. I'm not a fan of.
You might as well just paint them pink if you're going to paint them black. You know, and that's my view to it.
Okay. Sorry, I asked.
I'm a traditionalist.
Yeah, I get it. And I love that tradition as well, right? I'm watching. You know,
I think the bigger thing is I couldn't look at as it wears the different colour, albeit you're hoping it's just on the face, not on the back of the club.
Well, especially if you're like me and the miss hit is a little bit toe side.
Yeah.
If you're seeing that wear pattern on the face, I could not do that. We'd have to get a new set of irons.
Yeah.
That's stuff we'll look out for this week. MK, enjoy the golf.
Thanks, Morty.
Thanks for joining me
Likewise.
once again. We'll get some special guests on soon.
Look forward to next week.
This is the final major of the year. It's exciting.
How are we there already?
I know.
I feel like we whizzed through them too quickly now.
Yeah, now we've got to wait 6 months. But
I know.
We'll enjoy this week while we can.
Yep. Awesome.
Cheers,
Thank
MK.
you.